Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Mr. Ramzy Khoury, our Jordanian journalist. It's a very good afternoon to you, Mr. Ramzy. Good afternoon, Mr. Ramzy. Can you hear us on the phone?
Good afternoon, Angie.
Thank you so much,
I can hear you.
Yes, very good. Thank you so much, Mr. Ramzy, for your time this afternoon and for joining us on Arab Affairs. And today I just want to talk to you a bit about the recent situation and developments with Lebanon, where Israel has already launched an attack on Lebanon's capital for the first time since the ceasefire ended the latest Israeli-Hezbollah war in November. Now, this, of course, has been hailed as unacceptable by the Lebanese president. Even during his visit with the French president in Paris, the French President Macron called the attack unacceptable, promising to address it with Prime Minister Netanyahu and US President Donald Trump. How do you see this recent development? For starters, Mr. Ramzy.
What is very fascinating about this, NG, is the fact that nobody until now knows who is actually shooting the rockets. The rockets that are instigating the Israeli attacks. Hezbollah came out and declared that they have absolutely nothing to do with this. It's not their rockets. Usually, any group that shoots rockets into Israel declares that they are the ones that have done it. So these seem to be an excuse for Israel to actually continue its attacks.
And break another ceasefire.
Yes. The other thing that is not acceptable, Angie, is the fact that Israel equates the little small towns on the border with Beirut. Yesterday, the attack on Dahia al-Janubiyya was a major attack on the capital. And for the Israeli minister to come out and to declare that any attack on these little villages and towns on the border, then if they don't rest, then Beirut would not rest, is totally ridiculous. This is not an attack on Tel Aviv for them to be shooting rockets into Beirut. So Israel is escalating. And the reason why is because Israel is supposed to be moving out of the 5 points that it's still occupying inside of Lebanon.
Right.
What Israel wants to do is to say it is still not safe. The Lebanese army has not been able to control the ground. And therefore, we have to stay and we have to maintain our occupation inside of Lebanon in order for us to be able to protect ourselves. Even the Americans, they came out and they said something ridiculous, that Israel has the right to protect itself. So this is the framework that is always used in order for them to justify Israeli atrocities.
And Mr. Ramzy, another interesting thing that I want to discuss with you is the international community's response. Even, okay, we know the position of the United States now, even in Europe, the French President Emmanuel Macron promised to address this attack, which he himself called unacceptable. So if you see the situation as being unacceptable, what are, for example, European Union countries doing in order to address this, in order to look at the humanitarian atrocities that are occurring in both Gaza as well as areas of the West Bank, as well as Lebanon itself?
The biggest problem with the Europeans is that they are willing to make statements, but they are not willing to take action. If Israel is not going to understand that there is a price for the actions that it does that are hostile and they are against the international law, then Israel is going to continue, because Israel doesn't care about statements. You can come up and assail Israeli actions as much as you want, day and night, and Israel is not going to be bothered. Because they know that they are totally, they enjoy impunity, they are totally above the law, and they will get away with it, all under American protection. The Europeans need to take a step forward on both Lebanon and Gaza, as well as, by the way, the occupation of Israel of Syrian lands as well.
Yes.
The new and old occupations. So the Europeans need to take a step forward. They have to take action. And the best action is sanctions. If you are going to break international law, then you are going to suffer. You are going to pay a price. So that has to happen, and the Europeans have not taken that step. despite the fact that they have communicated that they are getting really fed up with Israeli actions a year ago. Yet, until today, they have not taken the steps that they should take in order to influence that action by Israel and all of what's going on in the region.
Absolutely, Mr. Ramzy. And finally, what do you expect with regards to, we're hearing talk that future negotiations are underway, that there's some progress being made when it comes to truce talks, etc. What are your expectations in the near future regarding this issue, sir?
It is possible, MG, that Israel may plunge into the second phase of the original agreement. And this is basically what Egypt, Qatar is hoping for.
Yes.
And let me tell you why. It's not just the Palestinians who are getting tired and fed up of all of this, but also the Israeli public.
Yes.
And if you notice, the demonstrations have doubled inside of Israel, and there are so many demonstrations for so many reasons. Netanyahu has really created a huge multi-directional mess, if you like. For example, the actions that he took against the judicial system inside of Israel, may it be by firing certain key players or by trying to pass new laws that would minimize the jurisdiction of the higher court of justice, if you like.
Yes.
That is one track that is really making the Israelis angry, but also the families of the prisoners of war who are still in Gaza. They understand very well that continuation of war will mean that their family members are going to die.
Yes.
And therefore they are now increasing their protest. And 70%, according to a poll, NG, 70% of Israeli society does not trust the Benjamin Netanyahu government. 70%. Yet the government is very stable. And the reason why it's stable is because he managed to actually create that glue that he needs to keep it going, which is bringing Ben-Gvir and turning the government back again into an extreme right-wing government against the wish of his own people.
Yes. Right. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there. I've run out of time. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Mr. Ramzy Khoury, our Jordanian journalist and our guest for the afternoon. Thank you very much, sir, for your time.